Bonanza Extra? Pillars of character. Think of character as the way people think about you or may describe you. That is, the adjectives they would use to describe you to others.
This week we will discuss leadership. The world is constantly changing. This means the frontier of the future is still ahead of us, and it is the young people of today that will be leaders of tomorrow that will take us there. Leadership is a skill that every person should learn. But what is a good leader? Among other traits, essentially its ability, integrity and benevolence, which means capable of being kind, empathetic and humble. For others to follow you, they must know that you are competent, capable and up to the task. They must see you as trustworthy and consistently honest and fair. And it's important that you are able to set your ego aside to see other people's point of view and show kindness. Nobody wants to follow someone who is mean and that doesn't listen to those around them. Developing leadership skills now will help you be more organized, help you develop insight, develop problem-solving skills, value relationships and team building, embrace responsibility, gain self-confidence and inspire it in others, and not least among these, prepare you for the challenges you will face. And as an added bonus, help you define and navigate your own path. Everybody is a leader in some way or another. Some people are born leaders, they are take-charge kind of people, but we all have the capability to become a leader. It starts with being a good follower, being able to listen, doing your part, choosing to do the right thing, being honest, responsible, accountable, and respectful of others. It is, however, important to emphasize. It requires a certain amount of energy and desire. That is to say, you have to have the willingness to accept the role and aspire to the level of trust placed in you. Take an interest in being informed. One common characteristic of good leaders is that they want to be knowledgeable. Putting in the work to get good grades also earns the respect of others. Being organized is another characteristic of leaders, being able to grasp what is important to the mission and establishing the order of steps and strategies needed to accomplish it. Ever hear the saying, don't get ahead of yourself, or don't put the cart before the horse? This means having vision and insight to understand that preparation is an essential part of the process. Leaders must have the ability to look ahead, sort of see into the future. That way they can anticipate and develop creative ways to overcome or react to obstacles. Developing problem-solving skills comes from a combination of being organized, using insight, and knowing how to utilize resources. A leader and teammates must be willing to accept input from others. This quality values others' opinions. Leaders listen and fashion a solution utilizing the best advice and judgments. Sometimes as a consensus, that's when everybody agrees on the solution, or sometimes by taking the responsibility upon themselves. A leader must also be able to communicate effectively. They must be able to provide clear instructions or directions. This serves to make the mission clear and what everyone's role is. And a leader must project confidence. It's cliché to say, but the best way to inspire the confidence of others is to be confident. This means you have to have trust and faith in your own ability. And you do that by being diligent. That is, know what you are saying, be thorough, show interest, energy and commitment. Leading by example and delegating also inspires others and promotes team building. These skills will benefit you whether you are the leader, a member of the team, or just performing a solo task. Change agents. One day your generation will be in charge. Your mission is to do the work and be ready to accept the responsibility.
There was a philosopher, a historian, someone who had a great grasp of the future, named Carl Sagan, a scientist. And he said, exploration is in our nature. We began as wanderers, and we are wanderers still. We have lingered long enough on the shores of the cosmic ocean. We are ready at last to set sail for the stars. We have set sail for the stars. And now we're going to reach out to the unreachable stars.
March is Women's History Month, and there are women at NASA contributing every day to the success of our current missions and paving the way for future generations to reach for the stars. Mallory Jennings is the first female system manager for the Extravehicular Mobility Unit, or EMU. The EMU is the spacesuit worn by astronauts during a spacewalk outside the International Space Station. Mallory coordinates all the engineering aspects, from hardware to new technologies. From communications to thermal protection to oxygen, all the systems work together to protect astronauts from the harsh environment of space. NASA is designing new spacesuits to use for Artemis missions to the moon. Leanna Rodrigues is leading the team using new technologies to develop and build the Exploration EMU spacesuit. She's the inspirational leader who will help our next moonwalkers. They will have more natural mobility and a robust life support system to explore the lunar surface and beyond. Have you ever driven a remote control car? Now, imagine it was on another planet. Farah Alibay is a systems engineer working on our new Mars rover, Perseverance. As the rover moves across the red planet, the systems she worked on make sure the rover knows the direction it's pointed and updates that position for teams back on Earth. She spent last summer testing our new rover's capabilities in a giant sandbox with a replica of the rover. Not only do we study other worlds, we also study Earth, our very own planet. From space, the Landsat program maps Earth's surface to provide information about our resources and environment. Melody Jam is leading the development of an instrument on the newest Landsat spacecraft that will launch this September. That instrument will measure the surface temperatures of our planet. Lola Fatinimbo Age uses satellite data and imagery to study forests. Her research reveals how our ecology has changed over time and works to predict how it might change in the future. Lola is working to make our planet a better place. Erica Alston inspires students through the Space Grant program. As an engineer, she used our satellite data to focus on air quality and climate change. Now, she expands opportunities for young Americans to understand and participate in our space projects, just like she did. Erica is a role model for future generations. Did you know the skills used to build spacecraft were also used to develop ventilators for COVID-19 patients? Michelle Easter is an expert in mechatronics, which is the design, assembly, and test of mechanisms controlled by electronics. She was part of the team that designed low-cost ventilators in response to the pandemic. Michelle was the first female to join the mechatronics group at our Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Lori Grindle is responsible for flight programs and projects at our Armstrong Flight Research Center. Lori oversees cutting-edge aerospace concepts and technologies, including experimental aircraft and unmanned aircraft systems. Flight research and testing is vital in the development of new aircraft. Women's contributions at NASA reach other solar systems. Nicole Cologne's work involves the discovery and characterization of exoplanets. These are planets that orbit around other stars. Using several NASA observatories, she was able to study a puffy exoplanet with low density, similar to styrofoam. Nicole's work is expanding what we know about the universe. At NASA, women innovate, break barriers, and explore the unknown. The list of their accomplishments is being built upon every single day. This March, take a moment to recognize the contributions of women in the world around us, and together we celebrate Women's History Month.
If it's to be, it's up to me. Woo-hoo!